Jinxing myself seems to be a thing that happens to me. So I just get finished making a video called "The '98 Silverado is Like a Rock," and it got a lot of positive feedback on YouTube. People liked it. It's got lots of views. It was a good video. And then just a few short weeks later, we're at 241,000. I get a call from my dad and he says the truck just quit in the middle of the road. Crank, no start. So fortunately I had my, a little tough to see in the dark there, but I had my F-150 there with me with a chain, and so I was able to tow him back to the house and up the driveway here and into the trusty garage. And I pulled the first thing that I guessed, because I tried starting fluid. Starting fluid did nothing and the fuel pump was working. So I'm thinking ignition. We just did plugs and wires on this not too long ago, so that kind of rules that out. But what I got to thinking about next, this is what I originally thought of. First thing that came to mind was the distributor cap and rotors. So here's a new one. Just thought I'd show you how these have worn here, and they need to be replaced anyway. So even though I haven't done that much diagnosing, I went ahead and got these simply because I know it's going to need it. But here's the cap, or I'm sorry, the rotor for the distributor. That's the new one. Now here's the old one. You can see how much more worn that one is than the new one here, the bigger gap. That makes a big difference. So there's a gap there. And then I was looking at the cap here itself. You can see how worn the middle prong is compared to this one. See how that one's more round like a ball? That one's worn flat. You can see all the corrosion build up on the little pins. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice new one on here. Not to mention how worn that is down in there. So it's ready for a new one. So I went ahead and just got those. Got an ignition coil for them as well. And I'm going to put all these in here, see if that takes care of the problem. My guess is it probably will, seeing as the truck's got almost 250,000 miles on it, and as far as I know, this equipment, or these parts here, are original still. So let's throw these on, see what happens. Alright, I've got the new rotor in place there. I'll put the new cap on. Alright. New cap. Secure those with the screws I got right in there. New ones with thread lock on them, so they're all ready to go. And then we'll put the coil on next. Alright, the cap and rotor, new ones are in, and I'm ready to take the old coil out. But before I do, I just wanted to see if they'll start first, so that way I know, was it in the cap or the rotor or the coil? As you can see, we still have no ignition. Kind of popped there once, but other than that, nothing. So let's throw the new coil on and see what happens. Alright, I've got the new coil plugged in. Now let's see if it starts. She starts and runs now. So that's a fix. Now I know that the coil is what was bad, so I'll go ahead and secure the coil properly, put everything back together, and this truck will be ready to roll again for another 250,000 miles maybe. The old coil is secured into the bracket with some type of rivets, it looks like, so I got one of them out there. I'll get the other one out. go. All right. Once I take the bracket out of the vise here, that'll loosen it up and I can slide the coil right out. Old coil's out, new coil is in. New one came with some hardware to secure it to the bracket. So now I can slide it right back in place, bolt everything up. Alright, all secured. Put the little intake duct back on. I love this design too. You can take it on and off with no hand tools. It just slips right on. Take your little wing nut here, thread it on. Just like that. All right. Let's fire it up, shall we? Oh, that is beautiful. Everything looks good and tight. Take the battery charger off. Yes, sir. We are back in business. The truck is ready to roll again. Hallelujah.